I'm a professional fighter
Hmm.
from South London, 29 years old.
Yeah.
What else should I add? I don't know.
What's happening, people? You are welcome to the Fight Week show. Today, I have Kate Bacik. How you doing? You all right?
Hey, yeah, I'm alright. How you doing?
Yeah, man. I'm good, man. Thank you for joining us on the show. You also go by the name the Queen of the South. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. So it's great to have you on the show. Do you think you got into the professional side of the sport a little bit too early, or do you think you got in at the right time?
I think everything happens just in the right time. And I've been fighting across different disciplines for about 12, 13 years, on and off
Right.
with breaks, injuries, and all that. I've obviously only done MMA properly for about 2, 3 years, really. I don't have no time to waste, at
Mm,
amateur, and I've struggled a lot to get fights at amateur. So I just
mhm.
decided to take that dive into a little bit deeper waters, and I don't regret that. I'm fully confident I'm ready for that. So yeah.
You've talked about being frustrated when you finish fights a little bit too early.
I mean, I'm in general, I'm very self-critical, and like I don't think I'm ever gonna be like happy 100% with my performance. But when some of them fights ended quite quickly, I just felt like I wasn't able to fully show everyone my skills. I
Mm,
wasn't able to show everything I've worked on. My camps, my training is so hard that when I get in that cage, I want to show everyone what I've worked on. I want to show the work I've done. And when I only get like a couple of minutes, and like like in the fight on Fight Star, my plan was to keep it striking to show my striking,
mm.
and then I just ended up taking her down and finishing with ground and pound again, and that was kind of frustrating because it wasn't what I wanted to do. It's just what I ended up doing. So
Yeah.
there's always something I'm not gonna be happy with. This is just how it goes.
Sometimes finishing a fight early comes with its own set of incentives.
I mean, obviously, money cures everything. So if someone's gonna pay me for finishing early, I'm gonna finish early, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. You're not wrong about that. I mean, you guys are prize fighters. I always say on this show, nobody, you guys don't go in there to do what you do for nothing.
Oh yeah.
It's
Well,
at
some
the
people
end of it.
expect you to fight for nothing, but
Oh yeah.
I've got something to say to those people.
You're based of the new wave at the New Wave Academy, and
That's slightly changed now.
that slightly changed.
I've
Please.
very recently changed teams.
Okay.
So I'm extremely grateful to New Wave for the last few years.
Yep.
They've helped me grow to become the fighter I am right now. But I've decided to take a little bit, different steps now in my career. So I joined GB Top Team in South London, and I'm also fighting out of Daniel Sam's fight team. So I'm kind of changing the direction of my career a little bit.
Some of the fighters that you're looking at in the pro circuit, who appeals most to you? Obviously, in your say like your next fight, if you had a chance,
I don't know. I don't know.
anyone can get it.
Honestly, I just whoever wants to fight me, I'm more happy to fight them. I don't think the talent pool in terms of like female flyweights in the UK is that deep. This is why most of them are signed with foreign promotions. So yeah, I'm open to whatever fights, whether it's UK, Europe. My next fight is booked already, so I'm kind of focusing on that at the moment. I don't have like a specific hit list. I don't have
So
any names that come to my mind. And like, I really want to fight them. I just want to fight.
when we look at your debut, obviously it was a SD decision that didn't really go your way. What's your take on open scoring?
I mean, judging is a hard job, that's for sure.
Mm,
And there's obviously loads of different ways and different formats in which they're doing it. There's most of the judges are very experienced in what they're doing. And when it comes to like split decisions, it's very difficult because even with my fight, a lot of people are still messaging me like, "Oh, you won this fight," but it's a
yeah.
split decision. If I
Mm,
if I won it, then there'll be a lot of people saying you didn't win this. So it's a
yeah.
very like
That's
it's
true.
it's difficult to judge that. And if I was to judge my own fight, I think it would be also hard for me to like make the right call. So there'll be always someone unhappy with it. I've seen quite a few fights, I think like even on ONE FC, where it's clear that like the person who lost actually won the fight. So I guess being more transparent about how you're judging and why you're judging it the way you're judging it would definitely help to understand. But and kind of like having this unified system definitely helps. But different shows have different systems. You just have to kind of like, be aware of it and know what you have to do to win. And obviously,
Yeah.
like, if it goes to the decision, if no matter how dominant you were, you can still lose that fight if you don't finish the fight within that time you've got. Like, you can't really argue.
I wanted to ask you because you mentioned it earlier on. I just want to go back to it when you just want to strike when you're in there, but you end up taking them down and just ground and pounding away. So that tells me you love the striking base, and you have a very, very good understanding of the grappling base. Which one is your favorite, and which one is more, say, energy exerting, if you like? Which one drains you the
I
most?
always get asked that question. Like, yeah, I come from my Thai background, but I definitely
Right.
achieved more in grappling than I have in striking across my career. But there's like, I can't pick. I can't pick. I go through phases when I prefer striking, then I end up like missing jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and I get back into that. Like, but obviously I train everything. At the moment, like, I've kind of gone back to my roots, and I'm doing a lot of striking. I'm doing a lot of my Thai kickboxing, and I'm really enjoying that.
Mhm.
But it doesn't mean that I'm not wrestling. Doesn't mean that I'm not doing my jiu-jitsu. I like to mix it up. This is why I fight MMA, so I can do
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of
yeah.
that. If I was to say, then striking, especially like my Thai, is definitely more exhausting than wrestling and grappling. But it depends. If I have someone like Khabib wrestling me and like dominating me for the whole round, I'd probably get up and like, leave that round feeling exhausted. So it depends. But I just feel like it's the pace of my Thai. I'd much rather do a wrestling match than a my Thai match. When it comes to like how much output you need in terms of cardio.
You just mentioned Khabib there. I couldn't help but ask you who some of your biggest inspirations in MMA is, and why.
Like, there's loads of people that I love watching, but I definitely like Khabib. I think he's quite a bit of a legend in the MMA. I love Valentina Shevchenko. I
Yeah.
think she's definitely, when it comes to like female MMA, this like her style is something I've always admired. Those obviously now retired, Joanna and Jacek. I used to love watching her
Oh
fight.
yeah.
I love Diaz brothers. Like, it's just the the realness. They're
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
my always favorite. But yeah, honestly, like, there's loads of new fighters as well that just come from all sorts of backgrounds, and they bring like a fresh element.
yeah,
Like, the MMA is so dynamic, you get people like constantly coming in with something new. So it's easy to find inspiration everywhere.
yeah. Got you. I mean, Valentina Shevchenko, like you just saying there, she's one of the big heavies there, and the power getting there with Amanda Nunes for the third time. From your perspective and what these two ladies can do, who do you think comes out on top?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Miss Valentina takes it, no matter how many times
Yes,
they fight.
this is
Even
the
though she's
thing.
the smaller fighter,
I
you
was just
know.
gonna say, because even there's still some people that thought Valentina won that fight.
I think Amanda is very powerful. She's got very good timing. Valentina, her skill set. She's so explosive, and she's good everywhere. And she's a very smart fighter. I think she'd be able to outsmart Amanda, and just beat her. Most likely take it to a decision.
Are there any aspects of pro fighting that we as MMA spectators or watchers do not know about that you would maybe want to shine the light on?
I mean, it also depends. It all depends on like where you're training. I've trained in all sorts of gyms across the world,
Yeah.
and there were some places where they've never trained with a woman before, and I
Oh,
kind of had to
really?
build up my kind of respect from these guys like from scratch, because some of them wouldn't even talk to me, and they'd be like, "What are you doing here?" You
Wow.
know what I mean? But then now I'm a part of a team that's got quite a big like women's team, both like professional amateur fighters. So there's like, I don't really feel like we're any different from guys. It's all the same, which is great. But again, honestly, it depends on where you are. And obviously, if you're gonna be the only female in the gym, it's gonna be a little bit different than when you've got other women. But I think things have changed for better over the years, for sure, compared to how it used to be when I even started. And like first the years, I think things are changing for better. So I don't think there's that much difference whether you're a guy or female, at least in the UK and most of the gyms that I know.
I'm a bit taken aback when you said, there are some people that have, never even trained with a woman before us. Obviously, we've spoken to a few female fighters on here as well, with male gym members treating them way differently to how they treat the other counterparts. And what sets that gym apart from most other gyms? Kind of thing that attracts you to where you're at now?
Right about now, I think it's the level of fighters training there.
Yep.
Because this is what I really care about now is having the right bodies to train with. Yeah, no matter what session you walk into, you'll always have sufficient bodies and the bodies that you need to train with. High level of coaching as well. Obviously, there's like loads of people that have achieved what I want to achieve. They've been
Yep.
where I want to go. So it just kind of just makes sense to to be guided by them, to be surrounded by them, because
Yep.
obviously, like what you surround yourself with, you kind of become. And it's nice to be surrounded by other fighters who have
Mm.
similar, like aspirations, because you kind of like absorb each other's energy. And also the facility is very good. It's a newly built gym. It's got everything you need and more. Yeah, and the location, it's
Yeah.
I've kind of had different options. I was considering going up north to Manchester or Liverpool, or possibly even going abroad. But then I just decided, why not I stay in South London? It's just on my doorstep and see how it is. Yeah, before I make any further decisions. So I did that.
What sort of advice would you give to those young people that that looks up to you, that follows you, and I want to do it the right way in this sport? What sort of advice would you give them?
Well, I don't know if I done it the right way. So I don't know if I should give anyone advice. I don't think I'm the right person to give people advice. You know what? I always say that I like to learn from mistakes of people who took my advice. I think that would be the case here.
That's
I
a
don't
new
think
one.
I don't think there is the right way to do it. For me, like
Yeah.
when I turned full time, I just
Hmm.
kind of did, and I was like, I'll figure out how to do it as I go with it. And then obviously it's been like, I don't know, 6, 7 years
Hmm.
that I've been training full time, fighting full time,
Yeah.
and I still don't know how I'm doing it. Like I don't know. It's just happening somehow.
Well, you're definitely doing something right. Please, is there anything else you want? You people you want to thank, your sponsors, your coaches, your gym.
Yeah, no, thanks to all of my sponsors, previous and those that I've got right now. And then make sure you tune into my next fights, which will be on Fightstar November 19th. Just signed the contract today, so it's fresh.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations, man.
yeah,
Yeah, big,
it's
big
it's
congrats.
yeah, it's just a little fight to keep me active. Nothing to get too excited about, but tune in if you wanna come on board as a sponsor and get in touch. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man, fantastic. Thank you very much. And Fight Week fans, you guys have been fantastic. This here is the Queen of the South. And yeah, up onto the next video, people. Hasta la vista. Salute, people.